In the next half an hour, we have a power-packed show lined up for you. We have three of the country's most powerful women on our show. Nanalal Kidwai, country head HSBC, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, chairman and MD of Biocon, and Shehnaz Hussain, CEO of Shehnaz Herbal, and also country's most famous and successful beautician. We'll also be shortly joined by Sushma Burlia, president of APJ Education Society, and a prominent Indian businesswoman. And joining us first is Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, Chairman and Managing Director of Biocon. Welcome to the show, ma'am. You are a women entrepreneur and have already made your mark. But when you started, what were the problems that you faced?
You know, I had tremendous credibility challenges because I was 25 years old when I started Biocon. I was starting a new business called biotechnology, which nobody understood. I was a woman on top of that. So I had a large number of credibility challenges to overcome because people didn't believe that women could run businesses. People didn't think that women could handle money and finance their businesses in a risk-free basis. And I think, you know, they felt I was too young. I didn't have a business that they could understand, and certainly my gender was certainly against me. So when I look at those early years, I had a mountain to climb.
Do you think women today...
Right, ma'am, we have already...
You know,
right, ma'am, we have always seen there is a ceiling for women in the corporate world. What about that glass ceiling, and when will that break?
I don't think there is such a thing as a glass ceiling. It's really in the mind. You know, it's a mirage. You have to understand that it's not real.
And I'm talking about the last year, there was an unfortunate incident of Delhi gang rape that happened. Do you think that societal mindset needs to be changed so that women can be empowered and move forward?
It's very obvious that the societal mindset has to change. I mean, look at it. Even after Nirbhaya's case in Delhi several months ago, every day in the newspaper you hear about another atrocity, another gang rape, another molestation. I mean, what's wrong with our society? How sick are we? I mean, you know, you see, you know, even the police not taking things seriously. I mean, those who are supposed to protect us are the ones who actually let us down. So I think there's a very serious situation in the mindset of society. And I think unless that changes, you know, we can say and do all that we want. You can have many protests. You can have people coming together to fight this social menace. But, you know, how is it going to change? I think men have a big role to play in this. When you talk about societal change, I think men have to change.
Right, ma'am. Men has to change, and mindset needs to be changed. But talking about the corporate sector, how can the corporate sector bring about that change in the mindset of the people?
See, first and foremost, just creating an environment where men respect women is a very, very important start. The second thing is, I think, you know, corporates have to be sensitized and sensitive about women's safety issues. Of course, having said that, I think there is a danger in getting too carried away with this phrase of sexual harassment, because I think women also have to be responsible enough to know what is sexual harassment. Recently, I had a woman who complained about sexual harassment, about not being promoted in her job, and when I asked her who her boss was, she said it was a woman. So I don't think women realize what sexual harassment is about. I think we have to be very clear about that understanding before we start legislating about this whole aspect. So I think there needs to be sensitization, there needs to be an understanding of what we are trying to achieve. And I think women also have a very important role to play as being a responsible citizen when we enact all these bills.
Right, ma'am. And we saw in the budget the government announced an all-female bank and a Nirbhaya fund. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I personally believe that it's very important to have a fund for women. I think women need a lot of financial support. Whether you need to create a special bank, I'm not so sure. I think you can use existing banking infrastructure which will, allow you to fund many more women. Because the moment you try to set up physical infrastructure and create organizations around a new bank, that 1,000 crore fund is going to be eaten away very fast because most of it will be spent in administrative costs. So I, for one, don't subscribe to that concept. I do subscribe to a women's only fund, but I think you need to use existing infrastructure to roll it out to women. As far as the Nirbhaya fund is concerned, I certainly think that's a very important fund to have. And I really think that we must really do everything it takes to ensure that women are safe in our country.
And lastly, ma'am, on Women's Day today, what would you like to tell women of the nation who wants to be like you?
I want to tell every woman in India that she is a very important part of our society and our social fabric. And more importantly, I think women have a very important role to play in our economic progress. So I want to tell every woman that you have it in you to succeed. You have it in you to build a career. And you must not waste that opportunity.
Thank you, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, for speaking to DD News. With that, we slip into short commercial break. Lots more on the other side, but stay tuned.